Hey YouTube, Awesome Rider here. Welcome to my review for the Lightning Collection Tommy Oliver Dr.O Dino Thunder Black Ranger figure. That was a long-winded take. I thought I was going to mess it up and then I got it right. I'm like, no, his name's Tommy. You can keep going. You got this, Dawson. So yeah, this is from the most recent wave. Yet again, if you've seen my other reviews, I'm sorry if this is repetitive, but this wave is the one following the infamous, very cheap wave that was brittle and fell apart. But thankfully, this wave is a step above. It's still not up to the older Lightning quality in terms of feel. They do feel a little bit cheaper than they used to, but these do feel more solid than the other ones. Like, just even opening them and switching out the helmet, which you can see I did, I didn't feel like it was going to break. You know, I unfortunately had two broken Izzies, the broken Coda, and when I bought that second Izzy, I could really feel that, like, this is going to break, and I did not get that feel with this one. I don't know about if anyone's had those experiences with this one, but my experience with the wave has been positive. Not perfect, but positive. There is some nitpicks and stuff about the figure, though, itself, but I just wanted to report that it's not as bad as that bad wave, which is really great because I was looking forward to this wave. So accessories-wise, on him, you have his hands for just holding weapons. I'll show the Brachio staff up close here in a minute. And then you just have two other hands. You have a closed fist, and then you have a posed martial arty hand. And then you have a generic lightning effect part that I'm going to throw into a bag. And then you have the head sculpt here for Dr.O, which I saw some people criticizing, which it's not perfect, but it's honestly far from the worst that I've seen, to be honest. Like, I don't know, I don't mind it. Like, I've definitely seen some worse ones. It looks almost halfway between a cartoon and real, but it's accurate enough. Like, that's all I really need. So, honestly, I think this is fine, for me personally. And then you have the Brachio staff here, which honestly I think is pretty well painted. They did a good job on it. They got all the core details. You even got a bit of a silver shine to it. I'm happy with it. As far as the figure itself, like I said, the feel of it is a little bit better than the previous wave. You do have some slightly, again, kind of like Mesogog, not loose joints, but the feel that they're going to become loose, like they're looser. So that's something to be aware of. Like mainly my legs and the chest, they feel that looser feel that probably after owning this for a while, it will become looser, giving a little bit more of a cheaper, wobbly feel to it compared to the other ones. But it's nothing that I haven't dealt with before. As far as the overall look for the figure, I'd say it's overall pretty solid. It's not perfect. I would say that there is something for me slightly off about the proportions of the helmet and the neck to the body. Nothing that's like outrageous or really weird like some of the other ones, like Time Force Red actually has a really bulbous head. There's a couple other ones that have like really like obvious scale problems, and this one is just ever so slightly off. Again, for me, it's nothing that I would be like, I'm not going to buy that, but it is off. It's definitely one that, in my opinion, can clearly probably benefit in the future an updated version. There also is something slightly off about the way that the chest symbol looks compared to the balance of everything else. It looks like they were made from two different figures. There's just something that doesn't match up there. But for the most part, though, this is par for your course Lightning stuff. I think it overall looks solid outside of that. The black and gold contrast nicely. It's got some imperfect proportions, but it's still a pretty cool looking figure, and I think probably the best looking one overall of the main figures we've had released. I will do a comparison here, or cut away, to a comparison here in just a second of the only other two main figures I can think of, which are the Legacy and the original 2003 release. So let me cut away to that right now just so you can see a comparison of those. So I actually could not figure out where the hell my Legacy figure went. I've lost track of a lot of stuff in storage, which is why, a lot of the times I'm doing comparison via picture, so I apologize. But right now I'm going to put up a picture-in-picture. Obviously, I own the Legacy figure for a long time, so I know what it's like. And this is an upgrade over them. The Legacy ones were taller. They had the bit of that more muscular problem. I'm going to be honest, I never had a huge problem with some of them. Like, I don't remember disliking the Legacy version all that much. There was some weird bright yellow parts where there should have been gold. And I just want to say that I think the Legacy one isn't all that bad for what it is. But in my opinion, this is definitely the superior pick. One that I did manage to track down, oddly enough, was the old 2004 version, which is your much more classic, like muscly Bandai Power Rangers figure that joints are so loose it hardly can even stand. But actually, to be honest, like muscles aside, the proportions on the helmet and stuff are actually a lot better than I remembered. But he can do this also. So, the superior pick. That's my favorite Tommy catchphrase. But, like, yeah. For these, more often than not, when it comes to the older figures, the value in getting them is for a nostalgic collector. So while this one isn't perfect, right now, it's the best basic Tommy figure you can get, or main Tommy figure you can get. But now that that's done, we can wrap this review up here. But like, honestly, this figure isn't perfect. I think it could be better. Like I said, it is slightly off just in the proportions somewhat. And again, you don't have the painted morpher there and stuff like that. And people are probably going to tear this figure apart. But I'm happy with it for what it is. I definitely actually kind of hope they do a remastered, updated version sometime down the line, because I would like a little bit of a better one. And there's some stuff that bothers me about it, but I'm also still kind of happy with it just because I really wanted this figure for a long time to start completing the Tommy collection, completing Dino Thunder as well and stuff like that, and just getting a more updated version of this figure because it's one of my favorite suits. And then especially after following that terrible wave, even though it's not perfect, you know, a perfect fix, I'm glad it is a step up. I was really worried that this wave, having two figures I was looking forward to the most, which was this and Mesogog, was going to be so breakable like the Coda and Izzy wave. And again, I don't know if other people have had those problems, but I haven't. So I'm just happy that it's at least solid enough that if this is the only figure that ever gets released, I'll be content. But I do hope there's an update. But I'm thankful that it's not in that same feeling like you're reviewing peanut brittle category as the previous wave. But that's about it for this one, guys. Until next time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and climb the steps and ring that bell so you get notifications for my videos. Dawson Ryder, signing out.